297 right now, we are building cars. We're taking smoothie straws and other different wooden dowels and making axles, and we've actually built a chassis. And now they're sculpting on top of it their own designed vehicles that we're actually going to race down a ramp later. And there's a box of straws here, a bag of other straws today I brought. So I got a ton of these other straws that could really work well for putting roll cages and other different things on it. There's stickers up here. You can also peel off some stickers.
That's one of the old.
Materials for the Arts is at PS 297 in Brooklyn, and what we're really trying to focus on is using materials that are found in everyday life. Materials that you wouldn't ordinarily think of as art materials. And so we're taking those and then sculpting out of them. And
This is part of a car called a chassis, and I really like being creative, and I really love art because you can color, you can do anything in art.
your wheels, I have your wheels, don't worry. That thing's awesome.
The kids really get to see how like everyday things that they would normally throw out, they can use. And in fact, we stopped throwing things out last year as much. Like the kids would, like, instead of like, oh, I ruined this paper, they would do something else with it. The next thing I know, some little child had a book.
I like my car because I have a crocodile in a hand and I have a jet. Being an artist, you can make any kind of things that you can want, and you can be creative. I'm going to be teaching art to other people that don't have nothing to do.
I have a child that just came into the country from the Dominican Republic. He made a car last week. He hasn't really felt himself, I feel like. He saw the other kids doing it and just did it. And his car is phenomenal.
I used a fake flower and a teacup, and I used Play-Doh tools.
Here.
Mr. Greg said we can make it differently. We can make the same or different. I like making art. It's because you can take your own details and describe it your own way.
You guys help us bring the curriculum alive for the students. We make connections between the real world and what they're learning in a book, because they're able to make art pieces that are based on the curriculum that they're learning.
It makes school much more fun because you can actually do something much more crafty at school. Like writing is just like writing, and art is much more talented and much more passion.
It's just more exciting for them. They talk about it, they tell their parents, they tell their other classmates, they talk about it in the cafeteria. So they're constantly talking about curriculum. They're taking it to other places because of Materials for the Arts.
Sit tight. It's good.
I'm doing like one of the old school trucks that had the top when you put it on the thing, or the new trucks when you like put the top on the thing in case it rains.
We have different classes taking arts at different times of the year. Whenever it's a class's turn to take their semester with Materials for the Arts, the other children who are not included in that semester, they're always like, oh, what are you doing? And then they're always sharing their pieces, and they ask to come into the art room even when you guys are not here to show off their pieces.
As people finish, and I approve of your car being sturdy with that object stuck to it, guess what I have over here? A little painting station.
It gives me a chance to express myself in art.
Come on now, who took this out and just wasted theirs? Don't waste that stuff. That stuff is good stuff.
Calm and a little bit mad. I'm mad all the time. I don't know why, but I just am. Maybe this art will help me like stop fighting people because people keep acting like. So I get in a lot of fights. So.
Did it help you? Does it help?
Yes.
How?
Because I don't get in a lot of fights when I'm calm, and when people like mess it up, when I feel like I'm like gonna like that, I take a deep breath and finish working on it and tell on them instead of just.
We want to give students some independence to make choices while they're working. It's less behavior issues because they're really physically engaged into that project. So I think the more choices and the more things they can have fun with, the more they're just going to be engaged in that project, and the discipline issues aren't as much.